What's up, you guys? It's HerpyDerqy. I'm gonna bring you guys a battle I had when it was a Hufflepuff versus Slytherin house match against Phoenix Fire. And this match was pretty interesting because I'm using a Sandstorm team since I do have access to ground Pokemons, while my opponent's kind of using more of a balanced team, but I was actually really fearing that he might bring a Radiance team to counter my Sandstorm. So I brought a lot of safety measures just in case that would happen, especially if he had a Kingdra, which he does turn out to have, which is very beneficial this match since I am very prepared for it if it decides to go for Dragon Dances or anything like that. So it's a great match, so let's go ahead and get this started. I'm going to lead right off the bat with my Hippopotas because I want my Sandstorm up as soon as possible. He's going to lead off with his Roserade, which is fine with me. Because I know that Roserade might go for Sleep Powder and might go for like a Giga Drain or something like that. But my Credilli can pretty much take all of it since it is pretty specially defensive bulky. He actually turns out to go for a Hidden Power, which is kind of questionable since I'm not sure what kind of hidden power it would be. Maybe it was fire, I'm guessing, because he might have predicted my Durant switch in to take the grass move, but who knows. But either way, he's going to go into Empoleon now, and I'm just going to set up my rocks because I can, and just because it'll be nice to get the rocks just for the remainder of the match, because he doesn't have a Rapid Spinner. I'm going to go into my Nidoking now because I know he's going to set up his rocks as well, so it's great for me because at least I get a safe switch into my Nidoking versus this Empoleon. I thought an Earth Power would do a lot more to this Empoleon, but turns out to be a very, pretty much, I guess, max bulky set. And he's going to turn out to kill me with a Scald since he is in the Torrent range, which is very, very unfortunate, so oh well. I do lose my Nidoking very early, but that's okay, because at least I'm chipping down the HP on this Empoleon, which is a very tough Pokemon to take down. He's going to switch into Flygon now, predicting my Volt Switch. I know he's going to switch into Flygon, so I'm going to go for the Leaf Storm instead, which is almost going to kill the Flygon. That's really, really annoying. You know, this is kind of where, you know, Modest versus Timid comes in, because I believe I'm running Timid on this Rotom Cut, and that would have killed the Flygon if I was Modest. So that's really unfortunate, because he is going to get an Outrage on me, which is going to bring me down to very low HP. I'm not going to be able to survive a next Stealth Rock switch in, so I'm pretty much forced to stay in on my Rotom Cut, which is a little bit sad, but oh well, at least I did take down that Flygon very early in the match. His Empoleon's going to come back in now. I'm just going to stay in and go for another Leaf Storm because I don't want to let my Rotom Cut go to waste. He's actually going to Roar me out, which is kind of a smart play since that way I would be forced to go into my Rotom Cut later on just as Death Fodder, which isn't too bad, I guess. And at least it's going to allow me, at least it's going to force me to switch into a Pokemon I don't really want in. But unfortunately for him, I go into Credilli, but then again, I don't really want to take an Ice Beam from this Empoleon since it probably has it. So I'd rather just fodder off my Rotom Cut right now, so that way I can get a free switch into something else. And that free switch is going to be my Armaldo, because I know I can outspeed this Empoleon and just kill it off, because my Armaldo can pretty much handle most Pokemon on his team. I only have an Armaldo because just in case he's a Rain Dance team, I do have Swift Swim on this Armaldo, which is kind of funny. So just kind of a really, really safety net for me, but Armaldo turned out to be kind of useless, but oh well. I'm going to switch back out into my Credilli now because I don't want to take any Giga Drains or anything like that. He's actually going to go for a Leaf Storm, which is still not going to be able to KO me, which is great because now I can go for a Recover next turn, pretty much get back all my HP, and eventually force him to rest and switch out. So that is exactly what he's going to do, which is perfect for me because I was actually thinking about running a Curse set on this Credilli, but I thought, you know, maybe investing more in special defense would be a little bit more beneficial, and it does turn out to be very helpful this match because I know he's going to switch out now because that's why he went for a rest. So I'm going to go for a Toxic on his switch, and that's going to hit his Kingdra, which is very, very nice. I have a very big hunch that this Kingdra is a Resto Chesto set since I do not see a Leftovers this turn. So I'm going to switch out and go into my Hippopotas because I know he's going to go for Dragon Dance this turn. My Hippopotas is max defense with a Violet. I know I can live a Waterfall and start baiting him out because I want to try to go for an Earthquake to start whittling down his HP. I do have Credilli with my Storm Drain as well, so I am going to be able to force him to go for an Outrage sooner or later. So Waterfall is going to do a pretty good chunk to me, but I do live it, and I'm going to try to go for the Earthquake, but of course I get flinched, which is really, really sucky, because now I have to switch out. I don't want Hippopotas to die, but then again, I was thinking maybe he might go for an Outrage, predicting my Credilli switch, because it would seem likely I would go into my Credilli. But he's actually going to stay in and just play it safe and go for a Waterfall, which is a little bit sad that it didn't really work out. However, his Kingdra's at very, very low HP, which was really annoying because I thought the Toxic might kill it. but he's gonna live and go for a rest, which really sucks. I'm just gonna go for X Scissor, which is my strongest move against this Kingdra, since at least I'll do a pretty good amount of damage to it. It does a pretty good chunk, but still, this Kingdra's still at +1 Dragon Dance, and I don't really have much for this Kingdra since it's very fast, and it can outspeed my Durant. I'm going to try to go for an X Scissor since I know I can live one Waterfall, but of course I get another flinch, and this is very, very bad for me because I'm really running out of options on this Kingdra. So now, I have to go into my Cradily now to take the Waterfall. I do have Storm Drain, so I completely absorb it. I take 0 damage, which is very, very nice. And now I know I can live an Outrage from this thing. I made sure that I have enough defensive estimate, so that way I can live a +1 Outrage, even if it's like max attack. So I know I can live one for sure, and go for a Hidden Power Rock, I believe. But he gets a crit on the Outrage, which kills me off, and that's very, very unfortunate, because now I have Armaldo and a Durant left, and none of those can outspeed Kingdra. So now I'm going to go into my Armaldo and fodder it off because I need to hope that he gets confused right here on this Outrage, and he does confuse. So now I'm like, okay, this is my one small chance I might be able to make a comeback with Durant. I'm going to go for Hone Claws, and I'm going to pray that he hits himself with the confusion, and he does, which is fantastic. I'm going to go for that Hone Claws now, which is pretty much going to boost up my attack and accuracy, so that way my Hustle gets canceled out, I believe. I believe Hustle gets pretty much canceled out with one Hone Claws, which is great, because now I'm going to be hitting at near 100% accuracy. He's going to send in Chandelier. I thought it was Scarf, so I thought it was game here, but turns out he's not Scarfed, and I'm going to go for Rock Slide, which is going to be enough to take down the Chandelier, which is fantastic. And Leftovers is barely going to get me a little bit more HP, which is fantastic, because Weavile is going to come in now, and I know I can't outspeed Weavile, so I'm hoping he doesn't go for a break a break and kill me off. But he goes for a low kick, which does not take me out, which is awesome. And now I'm going to go for another X Scissor, which is going to finish off his Weavile. And now this is basically game because his last Pokemon is a Roserade left, and his Roserade is not going to be able to take X Scissor very nicely. So that's a very, very close game, Phoenix Fire. I had a ton of fun this match, and I hope you guys enjoyed this battle as well. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.